because this is a work here that church people will try your patience. And sometimes if you wasn't sure or not sure that you got the Holy Ghost, the kind of encouragement that you were looking for and think you deserve, you might not never hear that.
That's right.
See, you'll take your hard-earned money that you should have taken to run your house and pay your bills, put it in your ministry so that the church can be better and the ministry can flourish and be comfortable, and they look at you as though you have done nothing.
That's right.
Well, that particular day, like I said about Jeremiah, do y'all have time for me to talk to y'all?
Amen.
Or y'all got something else on your mind? I just want to know.
Amen.
On that particular day, Jeremiah decided he wasn't going to preach no more. And while he was there, the Spirit of the Lord got a hold of him and started burning him from the inside. It's one thing when he burned you from the outside, but when he burned you from the inside, you can't do that. That burn that you get from the inside called for a response, an immediate response, because you want to eliminate some of what you're going through. So as a result of this, you got to act quick, fast, and in a hurry. And Jeremiah acted. And you all that stayed in Sunday school long enough, you understand what the final word was when Jeremiah decided that he had changed his mind. He was going to continue to preach. He said, I thought I wasn't going to preach anymore. I thought I was going to hold my peace. He said, but the word of God is in me now. And it's just like fire shut up in my bones. You know, so he had to preach. But let's see what transpired to Jeremiah and his ministry. He impresses me though. He cried, but he wouldn't quit. He cried, he thought about quitting, but it didn't work. You know, and that's the way it is when the Lord calls you. You just can't do what you want to do. You just can't get up and go when you feel like or when you don't want to. Sometimes people ask you, say, well, why do you go to these places? Why do you do this and why do you do that? There's something on the inside. There's a press on the inside that only a preacher understands. There's a drive within him or her that just is not satisfied until you are out there on the front line where you belong.
Yes, yes.
First of all, what is success in ministry? How do people measure success in ministry? Most definitions include references to achieving goal and acquiring wealth, prestige, favor, and power. That's what this is, success is. Successful people enjoy the good life, being financially and emotionally secure, being surrounded by admirers and enjoying the fruit of their labor. They are leaders, opinion makers, and trendsetters. Their example is emulated. Their accomplishments are noted. They know how they are and who they are, and they know where they're going. And they strive confidently to meet their goal. That's how the world measures success. By these standards, Jeremiah was a miserable failure. Listen to this. For 40 years, he served as God's spokesman to Judah. For 40 years. But when Jeremiah spoke, nobody listened. That's a long time to preach for nobody to listen. Constantly, you might say, he urged them to act, but nobody moved. So then you might conclude that Jeremiah did not attain material success. 40 years in ministry, nobody listened when he talked. Nobody moved when he told them they needed to take action. And for 40 years, he experienced that. He experienced them bad attitude. Like some of y'all just have every now and then. You come to church with them bad attitude. You come to church with them bad moods. You don't want to be bothered. You bring your problem to the church and you take it out on church people, especially the preacher. You don't want to be told. Don't want nobody to bother you. Don't want nobody to encourage you. In other words, you feel miserable, and misery love company. And so you spread your bad element over the rest of the congregation and try to make our church experience a bad one. You got to know why you go to church on Sunday. You can't let nobody rain on your parade when you get there.
That's right.
Anybody you want to have a bad Sunday church day, let them have it by themselves. But when you're going through all that trouble to wash you, to dress you, and to drive you where you need to go, you don't need to have a bad church day because somebody else feels like the devil. And for 40 years, Jeremiah put up with that kind of bad attitude. It's one thing not to hear my message, but it's something else to false accuse me and say that I ain't doing what I'm supposed to do, especially when you're not accepting what you need to accept from me, and you're not receiving what you should get from me. It's almost as if I'm not feeding you at all. It says something else about Jeremiah. Jeremiah was poor and underwent severe deportation to deliver his prophecy. They just didn't want to hear him. So now the plot comes along. After all of this that he's been through, he was thrown into prison. He was thrown in a cistern. He was taken to Egypt against his will. He was rejected by his neighbor, his family, the false prophet, and the priest. He was rejected by his friends, his audience, and the king. Throughout his life, Jeremiah stood alone, declaring God's message of doom, announcing the new covenant, and weeping over the fate of his beloved country. In the eye of the world, Jeremiah was not a success. A lot of times people look at what we do and say, we're not successful. If we go into business and the business, they ain't looking like how they think they ought to look this way, they ain't doing too good. You don't know how I'm doing.
That's
you
right.
Don't keep the books. You're not there every day. Huh? And sometimes we look at ministry with the same attitude. They don't look like they're doing too good. Every time I go by, I don't see nothing but one or two cars. I don't see nothing much.
That's right.
You see, Jeremiah was not a success according to the standard of the world. Am I right? But thanks be to God. In the eyes of God. Did you hear me?
In their eyes.
In the eyes of God. Yes. Jeremiah was one of the most successful people in all of history. In the eyes of God. Yes. My point is this: you might not meet man's standard.
Come on.
That's right.
Now many of us might not meet man's standard. Are you listening to me? Because we know that man will cheat you. They're not going to call it exactly just right. Come on here.
That's right.
And they got their own opinion. And the worst opinion in the world is public opinion.
That's right.
Because public opinion can change your mind and make you think you're a whole lot worse than what you really are. But if you would lean on the promises of the word of God, you got to know when you please in God. That's the bottom line. If you don't know when you please in God, man sure ain't gonna give you just recompense.
That's right.
You see? And the only way to know whether or not you please in God, you got to study his word.
Yeah.
You got to know his word. That's why he says, study to show yourself approval unto God, the workman that need not to be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth.
Yes.
Now, according to the standard of God, Jeremiah was very successful. Jeremiah couldn't make them receive the word. You can't make people enjoy your preaching.
That's right.
You can't make people hear your word. You can't make people accept your message.
Right.
That's not what he sent you to do. Go ye into the vineyard and work, and whatsoever is right, I will be. Is that what he said?
Yes.
God give you a message. You stand up over the desk. You deliver. Let them do what they want to do with it.
That's right.
If it won't fit you, I'll leave it on the board.
Right.
Got a message home with you, I'll leave it on the board.
Amen.
You got to understand this in ministry. Preachers. You can't be the church pastor and the church God.
That's true.
You got to do what you can and allow God to do what you can.
That's right.
But you can't be pastor and God. And something else you can't be. You can't be around here acting like the church pastor puss. And I'll explain. There's a creature in the sea called the octopus. And he got 8 what?
Legs.
Whether we call him hand, leg, or whatever we call him. But anyhow, he got 8 gadgets to work with. How many you got?
2.
You got 2 hands and 2 feet. And you can't go around here acting like the church pastor was, like you can do everything.
That's right.
The pastor might be equipped to do everything, but he should not have to do everything. The responsibility and the obligation of the church should be spread out among its members.
Yes.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Pastor shouldn't have to come to class, clean the toilet, vacuum the floor. Knock down the side of that, then down the road, 10 more, just that and other. You have to be the one over and running the Dollar General to buy toilet. People come into church and ushers at the door and what have you, and go see that the door needs wiping down every now and then. Musicians come in, play the music, and dust going on the music, and you never takes the dust and cloth and clean nothing off. Hey. When you love ministry, when you love ministry, it shows.
Yes.
And you're not going to love ministry unless you love the Lord.
That's true.
If you don't love the Lord, you're not going to love ministry, you're not going to appreciate church people. Because without the love of God, and you trying to preach and lead them, without the love of God, they'll make you hate them.
That's right. That's right.
And it's very easy to hate church people.
Yes.
Jesus.
See? And what we got to understand is that the church is not made up out of perfect people. The church is made up out of repentant people. And repentant people still got problems.
That's right.
Because
Yes.
no matter how much the Lord delivered you, how God set you free, sometimes we still got issue with our old selves.
Yes.
We still got issue with our old self. And believe it or not, the best and the mess is still in us. I don't care if God saves us 50 times a minute. The best and the mess is still in us.
Amen.
You want to know how messy church people can get? Let them get mad with you.
Amen.
So for 40 years, I'm encouraging you, because sometimes when you're new on the journey and in ministry, you wonder why you don't get the support from from certain people that you used to support. Wonder why you don't get the help from the people y'all used to help. How come you don't get the encouragement from the people that y'all used to encourage?
Amen.
And you wonder what happened, you know. Then you can look back over Jeremiah's situation and say, now I see clearly.
Amen.
The situation is
Right now.
something this world with ministry, whether we approve of it or not. And ministry is not, as I get ready to wrap this up, ministry is not one of these things, a position that you step in expecting everything to go well. In ministry, you got to consider Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law said that anything will go around, it'll go around with me. You ain't gonna have many good days in ministry. And if you have more good days in ministry than bad, please let me know. I've been around ministry for a little while, and I've had some good days, but I also had some hidden times. I've had some weary days and some sleepless nights. But when I think about it, and I think things over, and I look back over my life, all of my good days was in my life. So I went with it. Yes. So you will have some opposition in ministry. And all these folks that run up on you every now and then and tell you that I'm coming because the Lord sent me. I ain't telling you don't accept them. What I'm telling you, keep your eye on them.
Amen.
They're going to be the first one the Lord will say something else. If you ain't had that happen yet, you just eventually it'll happen. So then, as I get ready to wrap this up, Jeremiah courageously and faithfully proclaimed the word of God. That's what we're here for. Our job is to proclaim God's word. We ain't trying to make somebody accept something. We ain't trying to show something down nobody's throat. We just here as workers and proclaimers of the gospel.
Amen.
That's what we do. And as a result of this, he was obedient to his call. If you're obedient to the call of God, and if you're doing what he requires you to do, see, according to the Apostle Paul and them in the book of Acts, the Bible said that God added to the church daily as should be saved or as need be. Now that crowd you will get, or that crowd you have gotten when you first started ministry 5 years ago, I want you to know that's not your real church. Your real church is those that will stick with you through thick and thin. You see, sometimes people drop by to see what you're about. Some of them drop by to see what you're doing, what you're accomplishing, how's it going with you, that type of thing. Sometimes they came to visit. Sometimes they stop by to help do a project. Sometimes they come to help you do a particular task. But your true church is your pillows. The pillows will remain with you as long as you have a church. They are called the pillows. Now, believe it or not, in days to come, you'll change the carpet. In days to come, you might change the pews. In days to come, you might change the windows. In days to come, you'll change the doors. But you never change the pillows. The pillows remain. So every church got pillows. Understand? And every church got other parts. See, now any one of the other parts may can be replaced. The musician can be replaced. See, ushers can be replaced. Choir members can be replaced. Ministers can be replaced. But your pillows will remain with you as long as you have a ministry. Last but not least, in ministry, what you don't want to do. You don't want to become what you're trying to change.
Hallelujah. Come on.
You want to ask God, Lord, as I take this gospel and as I carry and spread it over, don't let me allow myself to become what I'm trying to change. You want to do that. You preach to reach each. You strive by the grace of God to be a living example. But you don't want to become what you're trying to change. You're trying to get people straightened out. You're trying to get them to see what living holy is all about. You want them to know what sanctification is all about. Don't become what you're trying to change. All of this is down the road for the preacher. So if the Lord brought you where you are now, know that He didn't bring you this far to leave you. The will of God will never take you where the grace of God can't keep you.
Yes.
If He bring you to it, He'll take you through it.
Amen.
You just got to have that confidence. And most ministry is born out of persecution and has small beginning. And sometimes it takes years before ministry starts growing. And after many years, you start to see what you wanted to see years ago. But if you hang on in there and be faithful, all of the promise that God made you, He'll fulfill every last one.
Amen.
Something else about ministry, and I'll be done. Ministry ain't no quick fix to nothing.
I know that's right.
Ministry is not a sprint. Ministry is a process. Little by little. I don't know if any ministry grow fast, but TV ministry.
That's
You
right.
don't see that big TV ministry? You don't see that around here. You got too many churches around here to see TV ministry. And understand this. A lot of times when you examine the reality of TV ministry, they're not really growing. They are swelling. There's a difference between growing and swelling. Don't get caught up in TV preaching and TV pastor and TV congregation. All they're doing is swelling. Real growth take time.
Amen.
And you got to go through a process to grow. But to swell, if you watch your elbow right now, by the time you out the service, you'll be done swell and be done swell twice the size. You wouldn't look at you and say, oh, your hands so gross since you've been in church. You look at you and say, you swelling. There's a difference between growing and swelling. You look at TV church, all they done was swell. We grow. It's a process. But if you wait on God, He'll take you to the place.
That's right.
You got to be like Abraham. You might not know where you're going, but because you know who you're following, you can be confident.
Amen.
Hallelujah.